So yeah, I'm gonna take a sip of my drink, and actually more than a sip. Big
All right.
sip. Big sip. Put it down on top of the dresser. Mutter something about forgive me for what I must do. Go into the hallway. Uh, still with the hood of my cloak up. Look around, see if anyone's like watching this way.
Um, you could definitely see down the hallway that there are some people that are capable of seeing you if they looked over, but their attention is
They're thoroughly distracted.
not thoroughly, but
Um,
there's a possibility they will notice you.
Notably distracted.
yeah.
Yes.
Can I use Tamath? I can't even pronounce it. I'm just gonna put it out there because I can't pronounce it. Can I use that to make one of the tables, this table here, rumble? I stand here.
Oh, thaumaturgy?
Yeah, I can't pronounce it for shit. Can I use it to make that table rumble? They look through the keyhole.
You could, but I'm just gonna let you know now the effectiveness of distracting is already in play. You know what I mean? Most of these people are already distracted. With both of you guys
And I was
standing there, you can create kind of like a
Oh
cover.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
so we're just gonna stand here and like we're chatting.
you guys,
Stand here like
yeah,
we're chatting.
yeah, like you're chatting or watching or whatever. I don't.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna sort of sidle over to the door and look for the keyhole
Mhm.
and kneel or not kneel but crouch and look through it. See if I can see anything.
All right. So, um,
The
as you
entire
as you
time I'm like muttering like bad idea, bad idea, bad.
as you do the thumping starts to come to a slow and stop, and what you see is a rather big uh black minotaur woman straddling what appears to be some fat bastard who is tied up and gagged. Um and she pulls out and pulls away, and for a moment you see something long and cylindrical that is definitely an
The moment I
object.
see it, I'm like, like, I'm like,
But you don't see any diamonds or anything. You see that it seems to be made of leather, and she's breathing quite heavily. And she says,
yeah.
you dirty little piggy. Hope you liked that. I know you liked that." And she picks up a flog and hits him with it, and he's like, as he's breathing heavily.
Like, the moment I see that it's not like what we're looking for, or actually, I'll do as soon as I can tell. I can kind of see through. I'll do divine sense, just to make sure there's nothing of note.
You don't seem to sense anything. Give me a
Nothing. Okay.
give me a perception wisdom check. Yeah.
Perception. That's not very good.
You can't roll lower than your passive.
Okay.
So,
Well.
yeah, you can see that there is the leather in a straps around it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if that leather is covering something or not.
Okay.
You're not sure if this is the object, but it is most certainly about a foot long and cylindrical.
Okay. I'm gonna sort of like stumble away from the door. There
Yeah, you
and
see
start
another
back
whip
into Mexis's room.
before you
and-
stumble away.
What?
You see her whip again before you stumble away.
I'm just gonna like just kind of sit in the corner there.
We're gonna head back into my room. I'm gonna sit on the corner of the desk.
All right, you guys move back. Didn't seem like anyone noticed.
So what did you see?
50-50.
You,
There
you
is,
need to explain more. What's 50?
and there's an object of roughly the same size, but as far as I can tell, it's not diamond encrusted, and there's wasn't anything I could sense in there. So it could be what we're looking for, and they covered it with leather or something, but also maybe not.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. I'm just gonna sit there and I'm gonna rub my chin with my tail, thinking, okay, I have no
And
way of finding this.
reach up onto the dresser, grab my drink.
I have no way of finding this thing. We have 7 days. We can't just sit around and wait. We need to find everything we can. Not agree?
I agree.
So this is the point where I'm going to introduce in-city actions. So here's a kind of thing I've worked up for this scenario. Basically, the downtime activities listed in Xanathar's guide. You can do those in one day rather than a week.
Here it is.
And their associated gold cost or payout is divided by 10. So if something costs 250 gold, if you dump your money into it, it's actually 25. Or if you do pit fighting, it's actually, 10 times less. Ignoring crafting and training completely. Another thing you can do is just make an investigation check once a day, whether you're using intelligence or whether you're looking about.
Okay, that's good.
It's up to you.
I think
And
I'm gonna do.
I just wanted to let you guys know that in case you're at a pause right now about what you should do with the rest of your night, that you can start doing these things tomorrow, just in case.
All right, man. I should have played my dwarf detective character.
That's fine. That's part of it, though, isn't it? It's just
Yeah.
if you didn't know what's going on, just make a character.
Yeah.
I think I'm a sucky character as well. Intelligence. Okay. I think just pretty much be sitting there talking. We're either going to go in to room
12.
12, or we're just going to wait for them to leave and see if they take it with them, or if they leave it there while they go out. We need to do an investigation. I mean, just trying to remember what I can actually can't do. I can't do much because we're only level 1.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, if we had more idea of like a person or whatever, I could hunter's mark, and that would kind of help. But
I got nothing.
yeah, I don't think turning into mist will help in this situation either. So
go and rock their world. Make the bed shake.
you're free to do so. I will be in a different room with a pillow over my head.
Play your devices. What to do?
Um, Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna quickly just sneak out. Well, I'm not really gonna sneak. I'm just gonna walk out, crouch to one knee, look through the keyhole, and I'm gonna use Tamathurgy or whatever how you pronounce it to make the bed slightly shake.
I think the bed's already shaking.
No, like it will shake a little bit more. Harmless tremors. And then I'm gonna get up and walk back into the room with my back against the wall, seeing if I hear anything what they're doing.
All right. So you walk up and you look through quickly.
Be back in just a sec.
And you see the door cracked open and what appears to be a large minotaur woman, completely naked, with a large object attached to her, and she is scrubbing both it and herself. While on the bed is a man tied up and gagged, still laying there on the bed. And you
still gonna make the mistake.
Yep, you cast it, and the bed begins to cause tremors. Is that right? What you like to do?
Yeah, just make it have little tremors, so vibrations more than anything.
Yep, it vibrates, and some tremors go off on it, and it rattles, and that wood that's been hitting the door in loud knocks taps against it in little quieter knocks as it rattles. And he's like, And you see his eyes open up wide, and he's looking around. He's like, And you just hear her say, "Shut up, slave, for I beat you again." Or is that what you want, to get beaten? And she walks in and sees that the bed is rumbling. She's like, "What's going on? Did you do this?" And she whacks him with the brush on his ass, on the back of with the back of the large brush. And she picks up she says, "Stop it." And she picks up the whip and she begins to whip him with one side and hit him with a brush on the other. And it appears as though she whips him a little bit too hard one time. And blood makes an appearance and a shot out, and he falls unconscious. He just goes, She goes, "No, don't try to play it off. Take your beating." And she keeps hitting him. Doesn't seem like he's moving at all.
Don't kill him. Just don't kill him.
What have I missed?
I did Tamathurgy on the bed. It started vibrating. The Minotaur lady was washing the Johnson thing, and she came in and she was like, "What's going on?" She started whipping the guy on the bed. Started to bleed, and she carried on hitting him. And that's about it so far.
He appears to be unconscious.
I'm going to cast Thaumaturgy again to make all the flames of the lights in the room to sort of dim down. Dim down, or is it make the flames flicker?
Flicker.
No, to dim.
Could be both.
I can make them dim.
Yeah, they dim down.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of looks around. She's like, "What's going on?" She looks down at him and she goes, "Hey." She nudges him. "Hey." And he doesn't seem to be moving, and she slowly backs up, naturally backing into the bathroom, and drops the flail.
It was a fucking flail?
Well, it's not. Well, it's a what's it called?
It's a paddle. It's a paddle.
Yeah.
Okay.
She has a.
Like, okay, he's just gonna cave in man's fucking skull.
Pretty much, she did. I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy again, and I'm gonna make the flames turn blue.
Dabba-dee. Sorry.
But they brighten up to normal color now. Normal normal flame, a candle flame. But they turn blue.
her eyes get wide as she quickly shuts the door. She takes her a second time though, because the first time she went to slam it, slammed on the thing. And then she's like, oh, and then just pulls it out through and closes.
What kind of sound did it make?
Yeah.
It hurts me to ask.
It's just
but
kind of a
Make
kind
like-
of a
did it
wet
make like a
thud since it's
grinding
covered in soap.
But was it like a soft thud or a hard thud? Like was it like it has softness to it? Because with being diamond crusted, it'd be a
Yeah,
lot
it
harder
wasn't.
to-
It
a
wasn't
bit more
like
of harder
a.
knock.
It wasn't like a hard knock. At all.
Okay.
Seemed to be padded.
Okay. Shit,
She
this is
slams the
what-
door.
Oh fuck! we're going-
And you hear a sad
I'm just
mooing
gonna-
coming from inside the room.
Okay. I'm gonna knock on the door, and I'm going to say, "Hello, is everything okay in there?"
You hear this. You hear the
Do I still-
the mooing stop. The sad mooing. And then you hear nothing
I'm
for a
gonna knock
minute.
Again. Can hear you in there.
You hear a door open. Some scuffling, followed by some spring noises.
What noises?
Some springy bed noises.
Okay.
And then you hear heavy breathing for a moment, and you hear a shk. Do you look through the hole?
Knocked him off the bed. I'm gonna look through the keyhole again.
You see this rather large Minotaur woman, black Minotaur woman. You see her ass is out as she's going through the window. That's what you see.
Okay.
She crawls through.
I'm gonna use Thaumaturgy to close the shutters on the window.
All right. You slam them on her as she falls out the window already. She was hesitantly at the window. And a loud wooden crack and bang outside. Followed by a, oh! And they're like, is that Lysandra? Why is she naked? What's that?
But I'm gonna run downstairs, and I'm gonna try and get downstairs and out into the alleyway wherever she is.
Yeah.
See, now I'm just gonna go back in my room. I'm gonna go back in my room and go. She's just killed him, and she tried to flee the scene.
it... Well, are you sure he's dead?
Not really. I'm not a cleric or I'm not a medic, so I have no.
None of you have any. Yes, I have to. Oath and all.
Guess we should check him out.
Gonna go over to the door. Is it still locked?
Yes.
Yes, you can come near it.
Alright, guys, do we want to be subtle here?
We kind of need to be. I don't have any tools to open the door.
Neither do I.
Okay. Do any of you have any ideas better than me kicking in the door right now?
Can Eldritch blast the door? That's about it.
Okay.
Let us go over and block the hallway.
It's gonna still make a loud noise.
And I'm gonna use right. I'm gonna hold my hand out, and I'm gonna say, when I drop my hand, start kicking.
Okay.
And as I drop my hand, I'm gonna use Thaumaturgy. I can't even pronounce it. And I'm gonna use it to I'm gonna use it to make my voice louder, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, clapping and cheering at the lady. trying to make as much noise as I can while you kick the door.
Okay.
I kick the door.
Give me an athletics check for the kick.
Fuck.
So the first clap happens and you kick at the door struggling, and you see that the Mexis, for you see that the woman has taken quickly and everybody else is looking over to you and she's still dancing. As your shouts and clapping rivals the sound of the music. She begins to come towards you slowly, but she's dancing around towards you and smiling.
Actually, I'm gonna have to step towards her. Still not giving her any eye contact, clapping loudly.
So
and
this
still
is
cheering.
quite awkward as you're not looking at
I can't look at her.
and she's shaking about. Give me another athletics check. Jesus.
Yeah, I can't even
You push off the door with your foot and
Oh.
fall into the room behind you.
My first roll was a 3, nat 3, which comes out to 8. And second one was nat 1, which comes out to a 6.
These
Oh,
cheap
shit.
this cheap locks on this whorehouse of an inn is quite sturdy, apparently.
I'm gonna go into my pockets, and I'm just gonna draw 3 gold coins, and I'm gonna throw it on the floor in front of her because I'm still not making eye contact with her. and I'm still cheering. I'm still cheering, making as much noise as I can with Tamatha.
Have you switched from looking at the floor to looking at the ceiling?
Yeah, I can't look at her, but I'm making loads of noise. Make Tamathurgy, and I'm throwing 3 coins.
She dances up to you
3
and up
gold
against
coins as well.
this wall as she tries to make eye contact with you. And it seems as though she's picked up one of the coins with her feet and tossed it up in the air and caught it with her mouth as part of the show. And she's kind of waving about as she licks her tongue all over the coin. And she is now up against you, her hand on her chest, or on your chest.
Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my tail to wrap her around her wrist and spin her around and slowly push her towards the other group. Still cheering and clapping, but looking away from her.
All right, give me another athletics check. You can assist him now that you're back.
Okay. Please. Fuck me.
Hurry the fuck up, guys!
So, so you see him struggle to shoulder check this door, and Azur, you second behind it and end up breaking it open. And it's just as you continue to clap and spin her off to the other side, she gives you this kind of sultry, ferocious look. And bites down on the coin in her mouth.
It's down on what?
The coin that she has in her mouth.
Okay. I still make those, and I'm still cheering, I'm clapping, and I sort of step one step back a little bit, lean against the wall, I'm looking. Yeah. So it looks like I'm looking at her now. I'm looking like maybe I'm looking at the knob of the top of the staircase.
Yeah, she hops up on the table and does a spready handstand style.
Wait, did we get the door open?
Yeah, the door's open.
Okay, I'm gonna go in and look around.
And the people are going wild. These other people over here are going wild. The guy with the fucked up face has drool and spittle coming out of the side of his mouth that's open.
Jesus, man.
I'm so embarrassed still. I do a little turn on the balls of my feet, and I go back into my room, sit on the table, and I'm like panicking. I'm having like a panic attack.
Very flustered. You guys see him walk back and jolt into his room. Inside, you see that, and you smell a very awkward situation.
I'm kind of holding the hood of my cloak over my nose and mouth.
This what appears to be this fat guy who has very fancy clothes draped over the dresser over there. He's tied up himself and gagged. And he is unconscious. And there is a bit of blood coming from his ass.
But he is breathing. He is alive.
Just tell him a new one.
You'd have to check him for that.
All right,
I'm
checking
gonna
him.
walk over to him
Give me a medicine check.
and finding the least damp part of him, whatever that may be, probably just like his shoulder or something. I am going to like just barely touch it with the tip of my finger, and give him 1 hit point with lay on hands.
All right.
That spell says lay on hands, not lay on finger.
So you give him the medicine check. You easily just put your ear up to his mouth, his nose, and you can tell that there's a very faint breath, but he is most certainly dying before he got healed. You give him the 1 point of healing, and he kind of, his eyes kind of clasp open. He's just peel apart and open up, and you see that he's looking at you, and he's like, he starts to shake a bit. I'm assuming you guys closed the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he begins to flop around like a Magikarp and hits the floor off of the bed. He's trying to squirm up against the wall. Butt naked with multiple lashes and burn marks.
I'm gonna. Is there like a blanket on the bed?
There is. You
Is
notice
there one that doesn't look too damp?
Yeah, there's, I mean, yes and no.
Yes and no. I grab whatever the least damp corner of one of the sheets is.
Sure.
And I'm gonna sort of pull it over him, and let's see, and I'm gonna sort of like crouch kind of near him and say, we're here to help. Can I take the gag out?
He's in there breathing heavily through the gag. Oh, what's happening? Oh.
All right. Yeah, I start by
Untie him.
taking the gag out, and then
You take the gag out, and he says, immediately goes, "Who are you? Where did you... No one speaks a word of this.